Hi, in this video I'll help you get to know your car a little better. At the end of this video I've put together a straightforward infographic that summarizes all the key points. Like, subscribe and comment below. It really helps.
So, you're a Chevy owner, and that dreaded check engine light just popped on. Ugh. It can be a huge source of stress. I get it. Well, today we are going to demystify one specific and honestly often misunderstood code, P1719. We're going to turn that confusion into confidence. So you've plugged in the scanner, and bam, it spits out P1719. Your mind just starts racing, right? What does that even mean? Is this going to be a serious, super expensive fix? Just take a breath. We're going to break this whole thing down step by step so you can understand exactly what your truck is trying to tell you.
Okay, first things first. Before we can even think about a fix, we have to understand the problem. So, what does this code actually mean?
To put it simply, your car's brain, that's the power control module, has noticed that the transmission isn't, well, it's not behaving like it should. Think of it like a manager who sees an employee not doing their job correctly. It knows a gear shift was supposed to happen in a specific way at a specific time, and it didn't. That's the trigger. That's what throws this specific code.
All right, now for the fun part, a little detective work. You see, a single code can point to a few different culprits, so let's investigate what could be causing this incorrect shifting. Now, what's really interesting here is that the most common causes aren't actually a broken part. It's usually about how the vehicle is being used. You know, putting way too much weight in the bed, trying to pull a trailer that's just too heavy, or even towing in standard drive instead of a tow mode. All of that puts a massive strain on the transmission. This creates a ton of heat, and heat is the absolute enemy of a healthy transmission. When it gets too hot, it just can't shift correctly, and boom, that's what triggers the P1719 code.
Of course, it's not always about usage. There can definitely be some underlying mechanical or maintenance issues. For example, if the ignition voltage is off, the electronic parts of the transmission just can't work right, and you should really think of the transmission fluid as its lifeblood. If that fluid is low, or if the filter's all clogged up and can't clean it properly, the internal parts just can't move smoothly. It's kind of like trying to run a marathon when you're dehydrated. It is just not going to end well.
So we know the what and we know the why. Now we get to the most important part, the how. Here is a really simple 4-step checklist you can follow to diagnose this problem without just guessing.
Now listen, it is crucial to follow these steps in order. Step 1. Check for TSBs. These are basically official notes from Chevrolet about known issues, and they can be a massive shortcut. Seriously, potentially pointing you right to a known fix and saving you hours of guesswork. Step 2. Check the transmission cooler line. Look for any kinks or blockages. Step 3. Check that transmission fluid. Is it low? Does it look all dark or maybe smell burnt? That's a huge sign of overheating. And finally, Step 4. Check the filter. A clogged filter is super common and, thankfully, a pretty easy fix. So you see, what starts out as this mysterious kind of scary code can be broken down into a very logical process. By understanding what it means, looking into the potential causes, and then just following this checklist, you've got a solid path forward.
The main takeaway is right here. This is a solvable problem. It really is. By being methodical and just following these steps, you can pinpoint the issue and get it resolved. And that's going to save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress.
That check engine light doesn't have to be some big mystery that ruins your day. With the right information, you absolutely have the power to understand what's going on under the hood. So, are you ready to tackle that code and get your Chevy running smoothly again?